Hey, welcome back. Well, believe it or not, November begins next week, which means that the end of 2022 is drawing near. We're here with Heather from Foster Financial right now to chat about those tips and tricks that we need for the year end.
Yes, things to get done prior to December 31st.
Yeah.
So some of the tips, not so much the tricks, but the tips anyways, are one, don't forget to get your required minimum distribution out. You have to get that out by December 31st. It can be upwards of a 50% penalty if you forget to take it. So make sure you've taken it. We normally start to call our clients if they haven't taken all of it yet in October, November to say, hey, what do you want to do with the rest of this? Do you want to reinvest it? Do you want to spend it? Or do you want to give it to charities, which is the other piece that's a nice tip. Don't forget, once you reach the age of 70 and a half, which is different than the required minimum distribution age, that you can give your required amounts to non-for-profits completely tax-free. So this is an opportunity. It saves a lot of people taxes. Most people do not itemize anymore because the standard deduction is so large that you can give a portion of what would otherwise be taxed to you to a non-for-profit tax-free. I know with us, we actually give our clients a checkbook to their own IRA accounts, and then they can just write those checks to those charities themselves. But charities do need to cash those checks by the end of the year. So if you write a check to a non-for-profit from an IRA and that charity does not cash it by the year end, then you've missed a portion of your RMD. So make sure you guys get those checks written to those charities before year end. Make sure that you take your required amounts. The other thing is more from the tricks perspective, a couple things to think about doing before year end. The markets have continued to decline. We've had a little bit of bounce back here recently, but they're still really down from the beginning of this year. So Roth conversions, the best time to do Roth conversions are in downward markets because you can convert more money at a lower tax basically because you're able to convert more. And then when the gains come back or the market recovers, it goes back into that Roth completely tax-free. All those recovery gains get to be tax-free to you. So it's a really good trick to do Roth conversions in down years. So this last quarter, as we're going through December 31st, though, is the deadline as well to do Roth conversions. And then the last one is called wash sales. Basically, tax trips for it's washing out gains against losses. This one comes with a few caveats though to actually implement a process like this. So we normally tell people, hey, don't forget, in down market years, it's also an opportunity. So not everything that's negative, the press, the news, the markets actually is negative. So you can take advantage of these market downturns by washing out gains against losses. So let's say your advisor or your broker or you bought something at the beginning of this year that now is at a loss. You can sell that loss against maybe something else in your portfolio that you've owned for a really long time that has a lot of capital gains on it, and you can wash the gain against the loss. What we have to do though is, this is important, that you have to go into a different position for 30 days. You cannot go right back. You cannot sell it and then buy it right back, which would be great if we could, because we would just sell it, buy it right back, and wash those gains up. But you do have to go into a different position for 30 days. After 30 days, you can buy back the original position that you are in, and it washes the gain against the losses. What this does for you is it frees up cash flow in case you need to take a withdrawal at some point. You won't have to pay taxes on it because you wash the gains against some temporary losses in the market. When you do the wash sale trick though, the 30-day holding position needs to be in something similar to what you came out of. So example, like maybe if you got out of Apple, maybe you go to Microsoft. Something that's similar, because you don't want to be out of the market during that 30-day period. You want to reposition yourself into something that's very similar so you can get some recovery in case we continue to see the markets go up.
And I ask this every time, but you guys are really the perfect place to start if you have any questions towards the end of the year, because we were chatting off camera. There's a lot of things people need to remember.
There's so many things, which is why honestly we get hired for those reasons. People go, I didn't realize that retirement could be so complicated. But when you really start to look at all the different things and how they all affect one another, we get put into place for that very reason.
Yes, well, thank you so much for being here once again.
Always a
so
pleasure.
Many things to remember, but that's what we'll chat about, of course, over the next few weeks too. So if you have any financial questions, call the number on your screen for a complimentary consultation today.